What's up, YouTube? This is James, and I'm back with another reaction today from YelloPain. My vote don't count. Haven't heard much about this. Saw another reactor react to it, so I decided, what the hell, I might as well. Only because I was being a copycat for it. But anyways, it sounds like something I'm interested in because I'm interested in politics, and I think I know way too much about the topic anyways. So I figured I'd go ahead and give it a shot. Never heard of YelloPain, don't know anything about the dude or what the song really is going to be about. I'm assuming it's going to be political. My vote don't count. So let's go ahead and get into it. But hit that subscribe button before we do. And yeah, that's all I got. Let's go.
Enough electoral votes, more than 270.
That's the day Obama got elected, obviously.
More than enough to become the 44th president of the United States. He will be the first African-American president of the United States.
I've been broke all my life, but I kept hope all them nights. You see business in my city? Yeah, they closed all them twice. I was just riding down Salem, all them damn potholes I can't drive. I know y'all can fix it faster, but I know y'all won't try. Don't nobody care about us.
So he's basically doing the whole city government, there's potholes, I've had all this hope, voted, nothing changed. I think leading towards, my vote doesn't count because I don't see the change like on a micro scale rather than the macro scale. But if he's going to do what I think he's doing, probably going to talk about that's why it's important to vote in your city elections, in your state elections, in your federal elections, because it's all important, and that's where your tax dollars go, and that's what you decide where you decide where your money goes, whether you know it or not. How you vote for the judges, you vote for the whatever. I don't even know what the terms are. The county treasurer, obviously the mayor, all the way down the line, the alderman. That's what they're called here in St. Louis. Councilmen in other cities. People making decisions on a small level, all the way to people making decisions on the big level.
And that's why I don't vote. Voted for Obama back in 2012.
But saying you don't vote, that's ridiculous. I mean, I don't care what anyone says. Your vote counts. Maybe less in a presidential election because of the electoral college, but every time you vote for president, you're voting for amendments that are local. You're voting for your state senators, your state house representatives, your federal senators and House of Representatives, and they're a strict one vote in, one vote counts, and so it does actually matter to vote on every single election, every single topic. Even in the presidential election, the electoral college, Obama won states like North Carolina and Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and he won those because he got more votes, which gave them that state, which gave him the electoral college votes. And that didn't happen with Trump. Trump won those states, and that's why he won. So, depending on what side you're on, you need to go vote, so that even though the electoral college is a weird situation, and you could lose if you get more votes total, in your locality, in your state, it matters a lot.
I remember that's when I had hope. He was saying, yes, we can. And everybody got less food stamps. And when I turned 21, I was still broke.
Yeah, so Obama said, yes, we can, but we got less food stamps. That has nothing to do with Obama in reality. That's more of a state position or a state government thing.
I'd never vote again. I don't think I ever had a president make my life better. Did it all on my own, ain't no politics.
So I don't think I ever had a president make my life better. Maybe true, maybe not, but I'm sure so. No, you could have a president make your life worse. Presidents put up the Supreme Court justices. If the power in the House and Senate is one party or than the other, it could change a generation if they put in two judges that are conservative or liberal, depending on your stance. Abortion could go away. Gun rights could go away, depending on how you look at it. But that's the president. And also through executive orders, deciding, I'm going to build a wall, etc., etc. These things they're coming from the president. Bottom line.
She should never do a nice gesture. I don't even know the mayor's name. I ain't never seen her one time ever. Tell me how she gonna help the city. What I'm supposed to do, write letters? What I'm supposed to do?
Yeah, write letters. Absolutely.
Blame Trump.
Make phone calls. Blame Trump. All of the above. Do all of that.
He ain't never really gave up. Ain't nobody raised minimum wage. None of these jobs pay enough. I think they just want to keep us broke, cause they ain't putting none of.
So minimum wage, again, comes from the state up. Certain states have raised minimum wage. If you look at like Washington State, it's a state mostly liberal, and their local state government has raised minimum wage. I believe it's at $15 an hour now. So again, it all comes down to voting for everybody up and down the ticket.
Place for us. This how all my people feel, but we gotta learn. We complained enough. Let me change it up. Everything I just said, everybody I know think the same way. See, they don't want to see us vote, and we never do. So we see the same thing.
It's true though. That's what they don't. They try to make it all confusing and convoluted, so people don't vote, and so things don't change. It's called voter suppression, and it happens in every single possible way that they could possibly do it.
Hey, but
gerrymandering, lying about when the election date is, telling you your vote doesn't matter, etc. When it does.
All our votes really do count, and they'll never really let it show. So now I'm finna break it down, cause if I don't, you would probably never know. First thing first, you know back in middle school when they taught us, it was 3 branches of the government.
You're gonna go to school now, huh?
We forgot it when we got older. It's the judicial, the legislative, and executive. But all we know is the executive. That's the mayor, or the governor, and the president.
It's true. That is what most people know. You should know all 3. If you don't, then you should just do a little bit of research. If you register to vote, you get flyers in the mail about every candidate. So you should know when the election is and who you're voting for.
Now none of them 3 people make no laws. They just be checking them. The laws come to them.
It's not actually true. The president can do executive orders. Again, he sets agendas. He's the figurehead of the party that is over the House and the Senate. So if the Senate is controlled by his party, he has a say in what's going on. He has many ways to push around his power. Is he out there creating law? No. However, he can influence what laws are pushed through. And if, for example, Hillary was in office, and right now the way it's set up, the House is a Democrat majority, but the Senate is a Republican majority, and the House pushed through like a gun bill, the Senate could change it up and make it to where they take out a lot of the stuff that the House put in and still pass it, and then Trump could go ahead and sign it into law even though it wasn't the original bill, and it's not going to do anyone any good. Opposite of that, if Hillary was elected and that happened, she could veto the bill and therefore cut it out, making sure that whatever those changes were didn't happen, and then it can go the other, vice versa. There's a health care bill passed, and it goes, both are Democrats, or both are Republican, House and Senate, and he goes to say it's House and Senate Democrat and it's a Republican president, he can veto it. If it's House and Senate Democrat president that's Democrat, they get voted in. That's when change actually happens. So you have to vote up. I think that's where he's going to go with this. You have to vote for everyone up and down the ticket, or nothing ever is going to get changed. It's going to be gridlock.
They destined, all they do is say no or yes to it. So when the news station tried to tell us that Barack Obama couldn't put us on, we was all salty at Obama when it was the Congress members.
Yeah, because what the Congress was doing, they were obstructing Obama on everything. That's why he barely got health care through with Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act, because there was so much obstruction going on. And it ended up getting, what actually got pushed through was so changed and so different that it didn't even look like the same bill that he introduced and him and Biden helped push through. In the end, it was just a ripped out version of it.
All along, we gotta focus on the legislative branch. Yeah, they the ones that make the laws. Yeah, they the ones write how much food stamp money you get on the card. But when people that wanted to help us wanted the job, I know they probably lost. Cause we ain't even know their name, we ain't know their face, we ain't know it all. So the Congress or the state.
Question: do you know your state's representative for the Senate and the House in Washington? Do you know your local state house government and whatever your state capital is? Do you know your governor's name? Do you know your mayor's name in your city? Let me know.
House, that's legislative, they make laws. So what we want from the president is what they do. Okay, y'all? See, they election every 2 years, but we don't never even go to those.
It's actually every 2 years or 6 years, depending on if it's House or Senate. But
the Congress, they can raise minimum wage, but we ain't even really know it though. So you know how back in 08, when we all voted.
Technically, he's right and he's wrong. They put forth the bill to raise minimum wage, but again, it comes down to getting passed by both the House and the Senate, and then it comes down to the president actually signing it off and not vetoing it. So technically right, technically wrong. It's a little different maybe on the city level, etc. But I get the point.
We was all supposed to go back in 2010 and vote for the Congress.
That's facts.
They the ones make child support laws. They the ones choose if your kids ask.
If Obama would have had a Democrat-led House and Senate instead of a Republican-led Senate that was obstructing everything, things would have gone through much smoother. Would have had a Supreme Court justice that was pushed through much smoother, or pushed through in general. It would have helped us a lot. So he's on point here.
School get the East steak or corn dogs. The state house make the court costs. So if the country failed, then you can't say it's them, it's your fault. Cause y'all ain't know to vote for Congress members that was for y'all. And they don't gotta leave after 4 years.
And it's not hard to look this stuff up. If you register to vote, like I said, you get all the info in the mail. Then you can do your own research about all the candidates. They tell you when the elections are coming up. Just watch local news. Watch MSNBC, Fox, CNN. You're going to find out when it is. Watch, whatever your local NBC, CBS says, you know when it is. You get cards in the mail. Like, you have no reason, no excuse not to know.
Just let them sit. See, they don't want to tell you this. They want you to focus on the president. Now, the third branch.
But then again, there's no reason not to focus on the president because he's out there as the head of the party, pushing forward and pushing agendas. So there's nothing wrong with doing that either.
To the judicial, that's judges. They the reason why John Crawford and Trayvon had justice.
Think about the judges is Supreme Court justices are put forward by the president that's in office. So if it's a liberal president, he'll usually appoint a liberal one. If it's a conservative president, he'll put up for a conservative one. That's why I think the last 3 have been appointed by conservative presidents, 2 by Trump and 1 by Bush, which has changed the makeup of the Supreme Court. When it comes to local judges, we do vote for them, and most of the time, nobody has any idea what they stand for. So it is actually hard to find info on them, regardless of what you do. But in reality, the only control we have over who the Supreme Court justices are is to make sure that we vote in the presidential party that we want. There is a little bit of having the Senate involved as well, having control of that because they can push it off and push it off and push it off like they did under Obama, which is why Trump got to push one in. But if Hillary would have got elected, then we would have had a liberal judge appointed instead of conservatives, 2 of them. Just saying.
So when Meek Mill got locked up just for popping willies, we blame the judge and not the city when they let her get voted in, cause they ain't know who to vote against. Imagine life on the other side. Roads better, schools better, everybody get their license back, grocery store food better, custody of your kids back, homeless people get new shelters. If we gon' fix the U.S., we gotta start with them 2 letters, me and you. Somebody told us that the...
I mean, he's not wrong, but again, it's not as cut and dry or as simple as he's saying, but I agree with a lot of what he's talking about.
Government want to keep us broke, but the only reason why those people in the government is because we ain't vote, and I ain't...
It's true. We gotta vote. And I know he's about to say I ain't talking about the president. Gotta vote for the president too, because in the end, if you go and vote for president, because the senators in the House, they're all different like schedules because of the 2 and the 6 and whatnot, and then the 4 for the president. So sometimes when you go vote for president, you do vote for your Congress and the House, and other times you have to go back in the midterms and do the same thing. So it's an ongoing process. But if you want whatever your agenda is to go through, you need to vote for the same like-minded people for both the Congress, the Senate, and the president, etc., all the way down the line? Or are you just going to get mixed governments that aren't going to get anything done?
Talk about the president. I'm talking about the ones we ain't know. See, they was gonna try to keep it low, but it's gonna hurt them when it.
And if you didn't know, like, people running for president right now, Elizabeth Warren, she's in the Senate. Amy Klobuchar, she's in the Senate. Pete Buttigieg is a mayor for Indiana. Bernie Sanders is in the Senate. Obviously, Joe Biden is an ex-vice president, and he was in the Senate before that. So these are all people that are still in the Senate and setting laws, but the issue is all the people I just named are Democrats, so they're in the minority rather than the majority, so they get outvoted every single time. And so the Republicans get push stuff through. But the reason we're in gridlock is because the House is majority Democrat. They push bills through to the Senate, which is majority Republican, and it gets squashed, and it doesn't go anywhere. Now, if it was Democrat, it would get pushed through to president right now, and it would get squashed that way. So that's why all three have to have almost to this day the same party, because bipartisanship, meaning Democrats and Republicans working together, almost doesn't exist anymore, and it's sad.
You see the pros.
Every time you stay home, someone is making a decision about you, making decisions about the air you breathe.
It's true. You got to go out and make your own decision. You got to vote because it counts. And I know this video is really serious or whatever. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, I'm just trying to be real about it. Like, I agree with mainly 90% of what he's saying. This year, the president part, I'm not voting for, or I'm not really worried about. You need to be worried about all of it, all government.
The water you drink, the food your kids eat, and how much money you bring home every 2 weeks. So every time you sit out an election, every time you don't show up because you think it doesn't matter, someone else is happy that you didn't show up. So
absolute facts. Again, the voter suppression, they don't want you to come vote because there's a reason for that. That they know that you're going to vote against their best interests.
Matter. Someone else is happy that you didn't show up, so they can make that decision for you. Vote.
So I totally lost my train of thought there at the end. But yeah, what I was saying is basically he's absolutely right about everything he was saying. But in the end, you need to go and vote every single time because if you're not doing it, someone else is going to do it. And guess what? People that are trying to make you not do it are the ones that are doing it double time and getting their agenda put through, which is why nothing ever changes for people who don't go vote and say, oh, my vote doesn't count. It doesn't count if you don't go. And that's what happened like with the last presidential election. A lot of people were like, well, I don't want to go. I'm going to vote for a third party. And then we got Trump. That's the way it works. So yeah, that was a good song. Sorry if I preach too much, but hey, sometimes when you preach, you gotta teach. So it is what it is. That's YelloPain. My vote don't count. Be sure and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, deuces.